Recording in progress.
There you go.
All right. Let's call the meeting to order. We've got a quorum. First thing on the agenda is to approve minutes of June 12th, which is the last time we met. Any thoughts, comments,
Nope.
additions? All
Move to accept. Second.
approved?
Oh, one very minor typo, sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. No, I appreciate it. Like I said,
Page 2, third paragraph.
you can. Well, that may be,
It should be interpreted instead of interrupted. Move that the minutes be accepted as corrected. Second.
okay, all in favor? So I'll make that change, Brian, and get them to you, so you can post them whenever. Anything from your corner?
Yeah, so Saturday, Paul P stopped by. Wanted to know where we were planning the transfer station. Just, I know I was in a rush that day, kind of chased you off maybe.
That's okay.
If you're driving in, you've got the fuel shed on the right hand side
Mhm.
before you get to the salt shed. It's in between those two.
So that would be the common entrance for public works separate from the recycling entrance. And then there'd be
Yeah, nobody will go over there unaccompanied.
Have you heard anything back from the state yet?
Oh, it's, so I've put together a plan, which I'm halfway through, a third of the way through, maybe not through it at all. That I have to turn into DEP first before I can turn in an application. So that they want to know, that way they know what we're doing, what we want to do.
Okay.
Uh,
Is there anything we can do to help on that? Okay. Just because, I mean, obviously, given the stuff we've got going on with, replacing plumber, the sooner we can get that stuff going, the better, but obviously it's in capable hands, so leave it. Anything else that you've heard from them, or just they're gonna wait on that? Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the process. I have to turn in this plan.
And you've already now, does that plan include that we have to have that separate entrance for it? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
One more random question. You've been doing any more shopping on trucks?
Yes,
How's that look?
there's a bunch of them out there. South of us, like New York, New Jersey. If we want one, that's where we're gonna have to go.
What's the cost of curiosity sake?
Oh, anywhere from 30 to 50. I found one in Pennsylvania. 69,000 original miles. It's an old truck, but it's only 69,000 original miles. Comes with a flatbed, 4 dumpsters. Something else.
Like for 30-yard or 40-yard dumpsters or like,
Those are 30-yard
wow, okay.
for a grand total of $39,000.
Wow.
You know,
How much again do we pay for trucking
400.
a load?
And we've consolidated the loads because we've got the compactor now, so there are fewer loads.
Actually, we just got a new contract that Nicole was signing. I haven't seen it yet.
With Casella,
Yeah,
trash,
no for trash. For recycling.
for recycling.
No.
When that contract is signed, if you could share it with us, that'd be great. Anything else from
No.
Good question. That's gonna be important. When we get to next meeting, we're gonna have to figure, because we're gonna have to really start digging into the replacing plumber stuff, but
Yeah.
it's still summer, so let's figure. Legal review. I had a couple of thoughts and questions, but I wanna leave it open. What do you guys think before? Before I give my thoughts and questions?
No, go for it. Alrighty.
Oh, I just, I don't wanna do that, the. Let's see. Rules, she had most of the comments were in the rules. That's not good, let's see. Rule number 2, trash removal. Deleted the language of the. Her third note, which is down into trash removal, talking about collections, and this is on the rules document, collection section and stuff. My thought was exactly, yeah, just change some of the language because it's non-public roads. Oh, let's see. Oh, she talked about, this is the one where I had the slight disagreement. And then she talked about it being placed, the comment says, should that be placed in the ordinance? We had actually talked about that and she was right. We had moved that out of the ordinance.
Where are we?
This is on the rules document.
Yep.
And we talked about private ways in the rules document. And we talk about collection. Her comment was, I know this provision used to be in the ordinance, and she's correct, it used to be there. Is there any reason why it was removed and changed? And yes, there was a reason. Is that so it can be changed more readily? That's the reason. This prohibition on non-public roads seems like something should be placed in the ordinance itself. The reason we moved it out of the ordinance is because collection on public roads goes with the fact, or goes with the type of collection we're gonna have, which is curbside collection. As we get into it, we talked about not putting anything in the ordinance having to do with the method of collection. So if in the ordinance it talks about collection, I mean, we haven't talked about curbside collection in the ordinance, we've got that in the rules, but not the ordinance. We're gonna collect on private roads in the ordinance is in direct, conflict with that. So the reason we put it in the rules was, one, so that it could be changed, more easily. And maybe, there are a few private roads that are collected right now, and so the select board can do that. And then because it is really kind of specific as to how something's going to be done, not the fact that we're going to do it, which is why we made that distinction between the two. So my suggestion on that one is to leave it in the rules document as we had originally planned it. The rest of her comments on both the ordinance and the rules, there were some things, like she talked about maybe consolidating some language into one because they were, some of it was duplicative. That's easy to do. We can go ahead and do that. Some of it was just, Paul should beat you to some of the typos because some of it was, lowercase instead of uppercase. She changed, we had in the ordinance, we used landscape refuge instead of lawnways. So she changed it to lawnways, which that was a good catch, good change. Again, some of it was just capitalization. The biggest thing that I thought is that, we moved the private roads into the rules for a reason and took it out of the ordinance. So that was my main thought on this. The rest of this stuff, it all looked easy to understand. I don't think we, like I said in my note the other day, unless you guys have a lot of questions for legal, I think what we do is, as long as you guys are okay, we leave the private roads in the rules. We make the changes that she suggests, consolidate some language and stuff. And then, basically we're done. I send it to Nicole and say, get us on the select board agenda.
Yep.
Is that
There we go. The comments, yeah, they both seem pretty straightforward.
Yeah, they really were. They really were. I was very pleased with that. All right, I'm gonna move that we make those changes. If you guys are okay, I will make the changes and just as we've outlined and send them to Nicole. I mean, if you guys want us to meet again and go over it, that's fine. But if you guys are fine, I'll make the changes. You know, it may even be next week that I finally get to making those changes. And then I'll send them to Nicole, and we need to get onto a select board agenda as, you know, as soon as they can fit us in for the discussion. All in favor?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. One other just quick. I mean, obviously there were no, this is not that much of a legal document, so there were no suggestions on the, you know, the acceptable document and stuff. What I'm gonna suggest with that, and actually Brian would ask, you know, take one more look. But then if we can put this document to replace what's already out on the website. And then if you want, I can even, I know you have some laminated copies on the you know, out at the recycle. I'm more than happy to laminate these for you, so you can put them up out there.
Yeah, I don't know about. Getting rid of the one that's already on the town website. I believe that anything that goes on the website has to stay on there for a certain amount of time.
That's fine if it's a place where you archive it, so the older documents are archived and there's so maybe we do it that way. But I mean, let me know, would you like me to laminate so that and get it so you guys can put it up there, but let's,
Well, maybe one.
yeah, not a problem. I'll laminate, I'll get it out to you, like again, it may be next week. Before I get it out to you, but I'll laminate so you guys can put it up out there. It just has some more detail to it, and any comments that come back from the public's right, let's change this document, this one's easy to change, so. You know, let's just do that. The next thing on our agenda is feedback and comments on the presentation to the select board. Because we don't have a date yet. So I'll walk you through kind of what my thoughts were as I was putting this together. I thought the flow of it might be really, you know, what are ordinances in Maine, why are we having them, so that, you know, ordinances and changes to them have to go through the town meeting process. You can't just vote to unfund it. You gotta, so this is the process you have to go through. Then I thought I would take some time to show them the current ordinance, some of the things that are in the current ordinance that we quite honestly just don't adhere to anymore, which we should adhere to the ordinance. So here we're in violation of all of those. Then talking about what the goals of it were. First off was to update the language, where we just showed that the language is out of date and really needs some update. Making sure people know that the ordinance was, the new language is set up to support the current process. We're not looking to implement changes. We're looking to have a better legal basis for what we do. So we're not really looking to ordinate, but to have an approach that supports a little more flexibility. That's in compliance, because there's some non-compliance, because the ordinance, the old one is 30 years old.
I mean, this is a nice touch, the flexibility as well, having separate documents that we can
Yeah.
easily update versus everything here.
Yeah. Then I went through everything that we did to come through it, including taking a look at all those ordinances. I counted 17 towns. We looked through all of that stuff. I mean, so really to do all that, the fact that we did research, multiple research, you know, from other states, legal papers on how to write ordinances, public input sessions, legal sections. So that they know that we went through the process. And then this page was really to underscore your point, Paul, and then how it's set up to be more flexible, more supportive, and, you know, that really puts things, for instance, fees really should be in the hands of the select board. The old ordinance says that fees must be voted at town meeting. And, you know, the way the legal structure of the state works is that's select board, they can do that. So, you know, that's that, and then just leave open Q&A. So I don't know if you, I mean, that was just what I was thinking as far as flow of what might work, you know, give background, why we're replacing it, what's wrong with the old one. You know, setting up the flexibility, the fact that we did a lot of due diligence to come up with this. And the fact that we're not looking to change anything. And we're just looking to give it a better legal foundation. So thoughts, changes to the presentation, and again, we don't know when that'll be.
Do we want to give a nod to the future and fact that next June plumber probably will finally be retiring, and that's our next challenge.
Yeah, I mean, we can put in, I mean, we were just talking about that, but we can put in, if you guys want, another slide after Q&A. Because I imagine we're gonna get a bunch of cues from some of the select board,
Yeah,
you know,
kind of keeps this on topic first before we move on future.
Yeah.
Great, but yeah, I'd imagine there's gonna be probably some revisiting the conversation with the.
it's gonna be some revisiting
Recycling.
conversations. Well, and the last time we went in front of them, we put together stuff on recycling, even though it wasn't presented. Nicole had asked me to put together stuff on recycling, so I have all that, and when we talked to it, I've got all the facts, the EPA stuff, the status of the dumps in Maine. I think one of the other things that's new that we can talk about, and for the replacing plumber, we've talked to 28 different municipalities, and every single one, including the ones that didn't support trash collection, have a recycling program. Every single one of them did something to recycle. So I mean, if they really want to get into recycling, but this focuses the legal foundation, the ordinance, and that. And then some of those other things would come. So I'm sure that, Paul, that would come up. I mean, it came up last time,
Yep.
you know, so what are you gonna do? Said, well, like we told you in December, we're working on
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to figure if I really want to say something, huh?
it. Or, but it is paid, so.
Yeah, no, so kind of what I was thinking was, unfortunately, I think the other conversation that could easily come up and, you know, there was something, that the recycling barn put out that kind of advocated against recycling at the town facility to a degree.
Oh, I did not see that.
Well,
Where did that come out?
where did it come out? That was on Facebook.
I
Yeah,
did not see that.
so I'm curious if that will be brought up too.
That's troubling. That's very troubling. I don't think the town should do anything to inhibit what they do there. That's a private facility. Anything they want to do is terrific. It is troubling that they feel they should inhibit what the town's looking to do.
You know,
You know, they can say whatever, it's free country, they get to say whatever they.
yeah,
That's fine. We'll have to go back and see if we can find that.
I'll try to dig it up for you.
If you
And I guess.
do find it, if you could,
Yes, that was. one.
Yeah, it came out, so there was an NPR, came out probably 2 months ago, 6 weeks, I forget the exact date, but anyway. It kind of went on to say how a lot of stuff that goes in the recycling stream doesn't actually get recycled, and I was kind of. A lot of people latched on to that. And drew a lot of conclusions from it that. Might have been a little loose.
but you guys all went and saw that we were doing. I mean,
You can tell people that
you saw it with your eyes.
10 times and they still, people believe what they want. So,
You know, you gotta get it to the recycling place first. And we're getting it there. And I would appreciate it. I mean, if they want to put pressure on the recyclers, the Eco Maine and everybody else to do that, our job is to get it to the recyclers. And not, you know, and if we find a recycler that's not doing the same thing for recycling and they have a better one, and so bring that up to the town and say, hey, this recycler does a better job, but here's the cost and here's, you know,
I'll pull up the reports that are on detail, just if anything else
Yeah.
worth reading.
no, that'd be great. That'd be great. Back to presentation, anything, and I think that'll come up. I think we need to be prepared to talk to it. Anything, I mean, is this presentation good to go? Any thoughts?
I think the conversation's gonna lead where it kind of goes, so I think.
I think
you know,
right.
All we can do is kind of general structure to it, and
Yeah.
it's kind of zigzag. And as long as we cover the bases, yeah,
Yeah,
I think it is what is, I think that's exactly what it needs to be. It doesn't need to be anymore.
yeah, no, I didn't want to do that, but yeah, I did want to structure. Here's what state laws say about ordinances, here's where ours is failing, here's, you know, how we're going forward and blah, blah. But yeah, I agree with you.
Problem, objective, solution, yeah.
Yeah. Sound like an engineer.
The old ordinance called included curbside collection of recycling, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what it said, and we don't do that. That's never been changed. That has never been changed. Recycling is supposed to, and it's stated in the ordinance, we're supposed to take lots, but we don't. Waste can be delivered directly to the, you know, people can bring their waste directly to the dump or the. You know, trash, and as we found out from Casella, no, they can't. The commercial hauler fee, that's the one that we looked at. You know, if a commercial hauler is only picking up from residential, the current ordinance doesn't support that. And there are other things in there too, like, you know, fees that are. Every fee needs to, including the fee for commercial hauler. I mean, when the fee for commercial hauler went from $250 down to $100, the select board did that. But the current ordinance says that it had to be voted on in town meeting. Which is a silly place for that to happen. So, anyway, all right. Movement on accepting as is. Okay. All right, so then clearly next steps, Brian, if you can let us know when we can get on the select board agenda. One thing I did think about, because we're going the route of having this on the November ballot, is it might be nice to do an article on it in the Bodenham News. And I can draft something that I would certainly like Kabitzen on, whatever gets drafted, kind of thing.
How soon does that have to be in?
2 weeks.
Yeah, by the end of this month.
Wow.
That's for an article. When does the Bodenham News come out? Is that for the only one that's gonna be before election day? Or is there a second one gonna be?
It could be the only one prior to election.
All right, so 2 weeks.
It's October, November, I paper, or no, September.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah, September, October. You'll be able to get it in
September, October, Bodenham News deadline July 31st. 4 p.m.
And not a minute later.
All right,
She's usually pretty accommodating. I've stretched out.
I will work to draft something up. I think the problem is if we're not before select board before then, we can say it's on the ballot, and the select board says, no, we're not gonna put it on the ballot. We'll just have to deal, but I can draft something up and get it out.
Say
to you
if
guys.
approved by the select board, it will be on the ballot
Mhm.
in November.
I'll draft something up and make sure I send it to you guys. I don't know if we'll have opportunity. I think it may be best. I can send it to you guys and then call individually so we don't have quorum with any feedback, comments, typos.
Yeah, you might want to call last.
Oh my gosh, I so appreciate that you're good at that because as you can tell, I'm not as good at that. There has to be someone. Okay, next meeting. I don't know what your time. Try to calendar. Next meeting, we should probably be focusing on next steps we need to do with replacing John. I know I still have to talk to Casella, and I've not done that. Yeah, I just want to, it's summertime, I have to do that, but we need to pretty much figure out what's our plan with that. You know, the trucks that he's finding, I mean, that's great. If we want to take it in-house, what are the things we have to look at if we take it in-house so that we can price that out? What are the, if we do it as everyone brings it into the transfer station, what does that look like? There still are hauling fees, there's still.
I think we really have three viable options that, I know we're gonna get to it next week.
Yeah.
But in-house, centralized, or outsource, which is likely gonna be Casella with the current trucks that actually do the bins and everything like Powell does, I think it was.
Yeah, unless there's somebody else that would do curbside. How there was one that had talked to us about it. Brian, you remember that guy that sent you an email? I don't know if you ever got anything back from him. I mean, we can still see if we can find any of those. But yeah,
So,
and it's just, how do we figure those out? How do we get them ready to present? Let's make sure we're not.
yeah, we're gonna be diligent and do our math because we know
Oh, yes,
someone's gonna be looking at that.
it's okay.
Lock it,
I'm good at math. You're good at math.
so.
I think between amongst the four of us, we got enough math. We got enough math.
You can get a professor, so.
We've even got a professor. We have got. All right, the next schedule would be August 14th, which is a little iffy for me. If we were to just go 3 weeks, that would be August 7th. I don't know what your guys, I mean, it's summer, so
We're in,
how about you guys?
I'll be here.
What do you think? I mean, I could try to make the 14th work. What's best for all you guys? We're talking between the 7th or 14th, and Brian, how about you two?
September.
September is good for you, yes. I think we probably need to.
I have a bunch of vacation time I have to use before my anniversary date.
What's
Don't lose it.
don't lose it, don't ever lose it. What's your anniversary date?
August 15th, August 18th.
You don't lose it, really.
I'll lose it.
They don't pay you off, but you don't want to. That's a losing thing.
Yeah, you lose it.
Yes, you lose a lot of taxes that way.
Okay,
Yeah, the week of the 7th or the 14th.
It's not linear for me.
7th is better for me.
I can't do either one, but you can meet without me.
Okay, so let's plan on the 7th then. And again, short agenda, the only thing on the agenda is gonna be what are our next steps. If I can get to Casella before then. And maybe that's a couple of weeks, so if I get to Casella before then, I can get some information on the. Mechanized option, I will see what I can do. At least having more information to talk about that, and more costs and what the.
Thumbs up or thumbs down, since yeah, we're not looking to take on any more communities, or, yeah, we are.
Yeah, oh, that's,
Feasibility would be nice.
yeah. I'll see, I'll reach out to the same woman that told us that they don't take our, individuals going down, because I've got her email that's got her name and number, so I'll start there. And just,
So if we're gonna meet on the 7th, will we meet again in August?
well, we can figure that out on the 7th,
Okay,
but maybe.
all right.
That's possible, you said, I don't mind getting into the schedule after September, but during the summer. It's nice to be a little more flexible. All right, anything else? Any other things, you guys? Maybe we can, hey, this is great. Half an hour, we get Brian home, so you can start feeling that.
That's my main concern, get him home.
Oh, but the poor guy is not feeling well.
He's not, I have to go to work from here.
Gotta sign payroll.
Hmm. Right, well, let's. Vote to adjourn. Move to adjourn,
So,
Yep.
all in favor? Terrific. And maybe later next week before I get some stuff to you, Brian,